Happy New Year, Drew.
Hey, how we doing?
Oh, not too bad. How about yourself?
Not too bad. You have a good New Year?
Uh, I went to bed, so
Yeah, I played a lot of video games and kind of went to bed. I went to bed after midnight, but we're typically a go to bed kind of early group here.
yeah, we were originally going to have some people over to our house, but then that kind of fizzled out at the last minute, and it was around like 11 o'clock, and I was tired, so I went to bed.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm getting old.
Yeah, you're still on vacation, right?
I am.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm back to work. I started back to work on Monday. Man, it's a rough week with the holiday right in the middle of the week, and you're trying to come back. Like I was just starting to get into a rhythm on Tuesday, and then boom, you get
Yeah.
Wednesday off, and then like today was just like meh.
I can understand that. Just, yeah, routines are good. Routines are good.
Yeah. So what's going on?
I just want to start by saying thank you to everyone who reached out and enjoyed my telling of Zachary's story of his liver transplant. That means a lot to me, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you to all the besties that have reached out. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a really good one, and people had. I saw a lot of really kind words on Twitter about it, and
Yeah.
it's a good story to tell. And having met Zach a few times, even though he's a little bit of a shy dude sometimes, having met Zach a few times, he's a super good kid, man. He just really is.
Yeah, he's in a grumpy mood today because he got braces today.
Ooh, yikes!
Yep.
Now, how long have you been planning that?
This is actually the second set of braces he's had.
Okay.
He had one when he was a lot younger, but this one's going to last for a couple of years. I'm missing a few adult teeth, and then he's also missing those same adult teeth. So,
Well, back up a second. You're missing them as in they just never arrived, or you
Yeah.
lost them, or
it's a Baylor genetic trait. I'm missing two adult teeth. I personally have bridges. So basically, my front teeth are both of my front teeth are caps. The teeth beside them are completely fake, and then beside those is another set of caps. So it kind of looks like real teeth, but they're all ceramic. Zachary's missing those teeth. My daughter Arabelle is missing those teeth and more. So we're basically laying the framework to move all of his teeth into the right spot. So when he's done growing, probably, when he's 20 or something, he can get implants for those teeth. Yeah.
Is swarminess a genetic trait? Because I feel like that's the only one I have.
It might be.
Yeah. Man, okay, so it's a second set of braces, so not his first rodeo. I've never had braces. Like I will say, like, the one thing about me, I think that is kind of together, or my teeth. Like, I've always had pretty good teeth. I've never had braces. I had a lot of cavities, but I've had pretty good teeth, and with the exception of a hockey incident where I lost my front one, I've been blessed with some pretty good genetics in the teeth department. So I don't even understand how braces kind of work. Well, I mean, I know how they work, right? They just basically pull your teeth where they're supposed to go.
Yeah, they're very barbaric.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Yes. But, he's very grumpy today, but we keep trying to tell him, like, yeah, it's going to suck. Like, a couple of years, it's not going to be fun, especially when you get them tightened. But when it's all said and done, he'll look at his smile and be happy that he did it. So...
Yeah,
and both myself and my wife have had braces, so we feel his pain.
Yeah, good set of teeth are important. They kind of are.
Yeah,
So-
they are.
How old were you when you had braces?
Oh, geez. It's probably right around his age. So I think I had them maybe when I was in 8th grade, going into 9th. I only had them for a couple of years, I think. I didn't have like an overbite or an underbite. They just literally had to move teeth around to make room for fake teeth, which is what he's doing as well. Yeah.
There's a lot of adults now that I know that have braces.
Yeah, it's very trendy. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to, like, yes, I have some of my bottom teeth aren't 100% straight. I probably didn't wear my retainer enough, yada, yada, yada. But I'm happy they look fine. I'm in no hurry to get them. Like, I don't want that again. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have those Invisaligns, which are very popular. But...
Yeah, Invisaligns and like palate expanders I see a lot of too.
Yep.
Do you think you're going to have to get braces again, or are you done?
No, even no. No, I don't want them again. Nah.
Yeah, I still haven't had my dental work done. I am starting to get a little bit of tooth pain when I eat now, so like it's going to be time here soon. It's just okay, so I love that my iPhone has the ability to filter out numbers that I don't know. Mm-hmm. But like trying to get my insurance situation straightened around so I can pay for my dental work has been challenging because like I don't have my dentist phone number program in my phone, and like playing phone tag with them is like brutal. So like I went back to the dentist, like I think it was in October, and they're like, you have to get this done. And I was going to plan to do it. And I was like, well, first thing we need to do is we need to get the whole insurance situation sorted out. And I want to make sure I have all that. And they're like, yeah. So like a whole bunch of prior auth stuff, and they were supposed to call me and I was supposed to call them. And of course that just doesn't happen. And I got to get it done. It's just
Yeah, the fun thing that happened for us was we've been obviously planning to get these done for, I think the appointment's been scheduled for like 6 months now. But as of the first of the year, I have new insurance for everything. So it was like, we're going there to pay, and they're like, hey, did your insurance change? We're like, oh, yeah, it sure did. Sorry.
Yeah, for the longest time, I was on my wife's insurance, and I've since joining my new company, I've gone on my own because it's almost free. Like it's a high deductible plan, so like I have to pay co-pays, and I have my HSA card and everything, but it's really good. It's a pretty good network. It's really good dental and vision benefits too, so I'm pretty happy about that. Plus it saves my wife a ton of money, because before I was on hers and she was paying like a buttload, even for like an HSA plan, to have us both on the same plan, it was pretty rough. I don't know. You didn't go on Jennifer's? Usually people who marry teachers go on their spouses, because
honestly,
the teacher...
yeah, her, I mean, it's fine, but it's not as good as what I get through my work. So
okay.
Like in a pinch we could use it, but yeah, it's nowhere near as good as some other teachers that we have friends and like in more affluent districts or bigger districts. I mean, like it's serviceable, it's fine. If we had to use it, we totally would. But one of the advantages I like, because I also have a high deductible plan, and with my son, you know, being, hey, surprise, he's got something major this year going on. It's nice to know what the cap is for my expenses.
Got it.
Whereas like a traditional PPA, like Jennifer's work would have, that would basically be unlimited, depending on how much the cost would be. So,
yeah, they put Mandy in. I think the school district she teaches in now, they're only high deductible now.
God, yeah.
And like, yeah, I wasn't on board with the idea of a high deductible plan before. And if you're a listener who lives in a country or an area that doesn't have health insurance problems like we do, I envy you. But there was that year that I had my exploratory surgery, and then that was the same year I also had my appendix out, and that was an expensive year on the PPO. Like I don't know if I would have hit the cap or not. I think I would have probably hit the cap, the out-of-pocket max, if I was on the HSA plan, but it still would have been several $1,000s worth of bills.
Yeah. You know, and like it used to be when Zach was a lot younger, we would hit the maximums every single year. As he's gotten older and a little bit much more stable, our costs have gone down. Like every once in a while, he has a doozy every year. We hit that max, but yeah, you know, I'm health insurance talk. Woo!
Yeah.
We're adults.
Yeah, we are. So, here's a question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but like, given Zach's medical history and everything that he goes through, have you ever had an insurance company threaten to drop you?
No, because luckily, like, it's all part of my employers. I'm not sure they can. There was a point where we had to worry about like lifetime maximums, but currently those are still, because of President Obama, those are now have been lifted and they haven't been put back yet. So at least for children, there are no maximums that he could hit. And that was something we were really thinking about, because like if that wouldn't have passed, I was just I'm gonna have to change jobs and be like, okay, if you have this insurance, we can't talk, because
wow.
Yeah,
I remember you saying that. I didn't really understand why, but then now I understand.
Yeah. Or we'd have to go on my wife's insurance until we hit the max. But luckily, we don't have that problem right now. Like, he is going to have to make sure that he always has medical insurance because, you know, the whole pre-existing condition bull crap that the United States has. But, I mean, we'll get through it. So speaking of adult things, why don't you tell me about your Legos?
So first of all, Paul, it's Lego. There's no S.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Common mistake, and I forgive you.
I'm gonna go sit in my shame box.
Yeah, shame box. Yeah. So for Christmas, I got a Lego Saturn V set, and I just finished it the other day. It was a fairly challenging build as far as Lego goes. I had a lot of fun doing it. The interesting thing was it was a lot of pieces, but because you're building like a giant tube, like you basically build the same thing 4 times in each section. So like there's a few small deviations here and there, but most of the pieces were pretty big. And it's, first of all, I don't know where I'm going to keep this thing. Right now it is on the hearth of my fireplace, and it basically takes up the entire fireplace.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a really cool set, and you know, scale-wise with the lander and everything, and like the recovery capsule that comes with it, and the little Lego like men are really super small, to give you kind of a sense of scale of just how massive a Saturn V rocket is. I really enjoyed building it, and you know, Lego will always have a really special place in my heart because when I was a little kid, my dad, my mom bought me a lot of Lego sets, and I was never like patient or smart enough to build them, and like I fondly remember my dad like building the Lego police station and the Lego fire station, and like then I would play with them, and then we'd like tear them down, and sooner or later we get all the pieces back out and do it again. And like we had these big bins just full of Legos, and we always sorted them by color. So we had a ton of Lego sets, we had a ton of spare pieces. Like we had a Lego pirate ship and a Lego castle and all these old like early 80s Lego sets that were really awesome and stuff that you wouldn't see these days. And I really enjoyed building those, and I think they are somewhere. I don't know if my mom or my dad still has all my Lego, but man, it'd be cool to kind of dig into those and build some of those old sets if they were still there, and if I still had the instructions.
That's one thing I do a good job of is all of my kids' Lego sets, when they're done building them, they hand me the instructions, and I have a bin. I think it's currently in my office, but it probably needs to go in the closet somewhere. That's just literally, it's just nothing but Lego instruction manuals. Because, you know, like a lot of my kids have, I mean, not a ton, but, you know, probably like at least a dozen Lego sets each, and they occasionally get more. A lot of them, like, they're kind of past the point where they play with them. Like, my son would play with some of the ones when he was younger, but now they mostly kind of just sit in his room, and occasionally they get dropped and get broke, or like during the move, like you can't keep Legos together. So it's nice to have those sets to kind of go back and rebuild them. Yeah, the only Lego set I think I have on display in my office is the Lego Voltron.
Now that's cool. I remember when you bought that. Yeah, the Lego Voltron's pretty cool because you're such a big Voltron fan.
I am.
Yeah, so kind of the centerpiece right now obviously is the Saturn V rocket, just because it's so huge. I've got a few other sets in the house that I'm pretty proud of. I have the James Bond like Aston Martin. That's pretty cool.
Classic.
Because yeah, it's really neat. It's a fairly decent size, and like it has like working stuff on it. Like it has like a working ejector seat that you like pull the tailpipe and it flies out, and like the gear knob, like when you pull it back, cool. Like the headlights roll back and there's little fake machine guns that pop out.
That's neat.
Yeah, so that one's pretty cool. And then in my basement, I have a lot of the Lego like architecture series ones on my shelves. I don't have anything too big. Like I would love to build one of those like really like expensive $500 like Technic sets, you know, like the big tractor trailers and stuff. But
yeah.
The thing is though, like I don't even know where I would put that.
That's like the thing, yeah.
Yeah, the rocket's pushing it, and like I kind of want to put the rocket on my computer desk, but given how much I bump into that with my chair and rolling in and out and slamming my fist when things don't work, like that's just going to be like a recipe for disaster. Like that's going to fall on my dog, and it's not very light. So I could break it into pieces because it does come apart into pieces. Like each stage of the rocket comes apart.
Oh, that's neat. Okay.
Yeah. And they also give you like not a mounting kit, but they give you like these little like rafter looking things that you can lay it sideways. and that's what it's currently doing. So it's laying sideways on my fireplace.
Yeah, I love the Apollo space program, and that Saturn rocket has been on my wish list for a while, but pretty much the only reason I haven't bought it is because I do not know where I would put it. And I kind of have to figure that out first before I bite the bullet, because, yeah, it's got to be a good mix of someplace I would see it and enjoy it, but not someplace where
it's in the way.
It has risk. Yeah, it's in the way, or it's going to fall, or, yeah.
I don't know where this is ultimately going to end up. Mandy's currently tolerating it in its current position, but I'm sure that in about a week or so, she'll be like, so about that rocket. And then I'll
now,
figure something
have you seen the stuff for NASA's new space launch system?
I have not.
Yeah, so they have this really cool video. If I can put it, I'll put it in the show notes. But they're designing another set of rockets and spacecraft and landers to basically go back to the moon and be able to have more of an extended presence there. And as someone who really loves like the Apollo program, like it scratches all the right buttons. It almost looks exactly the same. They have the same kind of lander. It's designed to do a splashdown and not, your space shuttle type, glide landing. Yeah. But the big difference is instead of sending supplies with the astronauts on the spacecraft, they were going to like pre-stage them on the moon.
Huh.
Yeah. I'll see if I can find
cool.
that video again, and I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, do. I'd be really interested to see that. I can't say that I'm a huge space nut. I almost minored in astronomy when I was in college, but it just didn't pan out. I mean, I like astronomy and I like space, but I can't say I'm like a huge like NASA nut or anything. But
yeah,
I mean, the rocket is really cool.
Yeah, I kind of like I was for a little bit when I was kind of much younger. But for me, I just have a huge infatuation with the Apollo space program.
Yeah, I just did a quick little Google search, and it looks like there is there's an Apollo 11 lander kit that Target sells.
Ah.
Let's see here. Apollo 11 Lego. How much is it? You can get it on Amazon. Oh, only 6 left in stock, Paul.
Artemis. That's the name. It's their Artemis system. Artemis program. Okay.
Oh.
Yep. Here it is. Okay. I found it. Link is going into the show notes.
Oh, wow. This is $170. I don't ever understand Amazon sometimes. Usually things are so much cheaper.
Sometimes not. Depends on the seller, I guess, right?
I guess. Apollo 11 Lego. Not in stores. So yeah, you can get it $99 from Target.
Okay. That's the lander?
That's the lander. And it's $170 on Amazon. It used to be $194. So $99 seems like a pretty good deal from Target. And it doesn't look like it's like huge. It just looks like it's a pretty decent size. And the little Lego people have like the gold
oh yeah.
shields.
I'm looking at it now. Yes.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I might have to get that. Anyway. Yeah, so Lego, I don't know. I do have a lot. Like I could turn around and look at my shelf and I could see all the different ones I have up there. And I think ultimately the rocket will go up on my shelves in the basement too. I have a feeling. Yeah. Okay. Before we get into the other topic here, is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we're ready to roll.
Yeah. So
you know what? I do have one thing. I do have one quick thing.
Okay.
So we are both fans of the Do by Friday podcast.
Last episode was pretty good.
Yeah, the holiday party. And I think you will enjoy that. And obviously, if you don't listen to Do by Friday, this part's going to be really boring because I'm basically going to nerd gush to Drew. But it's a really good podcast. It's a comedy podcast. It's hilarious. You should listen to it.
Challenge yourself, challenge your friends.
Exactly.
Or the other way around.
Yeah,
challenge your friends, challenge yourself. Yeah.
I am a Patreon supporter for the podcast because I enjoy it so much. And there's no ads. They just ask for, monthly donations. And I contribute at the $10 level.
You're a $10 boy.
I'm a $10 boy. And what that gets you is occasionally, it's like once, maybe twice a year, you get a treat. And my treat just came. And Granted, there are some. I got 3 more pieces of artwork. It looks like I got Gerald the Time Guy, Merlin's cat, and President Trump pieces of artwork. But the highlight of the gift was a custom set of Due by Friday playing cards.
Oh, okay. Tell me more.
Yeah. So the Jokers feature the 3 podcasters and their cats. Each of the Jack, Queen, and King are the hosts, and there is an extra 2 of Hearts card.
So
yeah.
So it's a, what is it? It's usually 54 cards in a deck, right? So it's 55?
52, yeah.
52. So it's 53 cards then.
Yeah, and it's obvious the one 2 of Hearts is different. It looks very hand drawn. It actually may be hand drawn, but I look at it more. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, I doubt it is. Yeah.
I need to see a picture of Gerald the Time Guy, by the way.
Okay, I'll take some pictures and send them to you afterwards. And I also got a card specifying that I'm an official Due by Friday Cox's Cuck. So
nice. Wow. You know, that's something I really need to get on the stick and get upgraded to a $10 boy. We're $5 boys and girls in this house.
Yeah. I mean, that's Powder Nation. That's pretty good, but
yeah, we're Powder Nation. Yeah. So a lot of those words, if you didn't understand that, go listen to Due by Friday. It's an exceptionally good podcast.
It really is.
Yeah. Are the pieces of artwork hanging up at your workplace still, or
the original 3 that I got of the hosts are still up at work, and I would put all of these up in there, but I'm afraid that the the Trump artwork would draw some ire, but.
Yeah, I feel like you would get some weird looks.
Yeah, but Gerald the Time Guy, I definitely think is going to go up. And I think the other one's Berlin's cat. So, a sweet, precious angel.
Yeah. I'm surprised Bando didn't make it in there.
Yeah.
Man, we're going really deep here.
We really are. It's a painfully good podcast. You should go listen to it.
It really is. Man, I'm exceptionally jealous of the playing cards, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures.
Yeah, do. So the other topic we had for tonight is basically I have 2 topics on the dock for tonight that are kind of the main topic. And the first one is looking back at kind of 2019 and things that we thought, we're proud of, or things that happened to us in 2019 that maybe we're not proud of, or maybe, we're sad or hard or things. And then kind of what we're looking forward to in 2020. So I don't know. You want to go back and forth on this one? Like maybe we can each do a couple things, talking about 2019.
Yeah. Why don't you kick it off?
I think the biggest thing for me in 2019 was obviously changing jobs. That's huge. Changing a job is always kind of a big life event, right? I mean, that's why you're allowed. That's why they call them life events, so you can change insurance and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I changed jobs over the summer. It was time for me to go. And, it's been a challenging year. Leaving something that you're so familiar and comfortable with and people you see every day to going to a big, huge corporation and, being in the mix and doing all those things and being kind of a nobody again and realizing that you're not super smart and, I'm getting challenged to work on things that I traditionally haven't worked on, and it's making me use parts of my brain that I haven't used, and embracing a whole different mindset about how I approach my work. Like it's been a good, challenging year. I think, I haven't been in this new job for a full year yet. I'll be in there a year starting in like April or May or June. I even forget when I started. I think it was like June. So I think when June rolls around, I'll have been there a year. And basically what I've been telling everybody is I really won't know if I'm good at this job or not, at least for a year. And as I get closer as I'm over the halfway mark at this point, I'm not even sure a year is going to be enough to know, just because there's so many different things that I do now in my current role. And it's just, before I was pretty narrowly focused, and occasionally I would get an opportunity to break out and work on different things. But in this new role, I'm constantly finding new things to work on and being encouraged to work on new things. And it's really testing my skills and my abilities. And it's good, but it's also sometimes really scary and really hard. And there are certain days where I feel like, yeah, I can do this. And there's certain days where I feel like, man, I don't know. So yeah, that was my big change for 2019. And I'm still kind of rolling with it. I still got a pretty positive attitude about it, but there are days that are more challenging than others. Let's put it that way. So what about you, Paul?
So first of all, I want to say it sounds like you're doing amazing at your new job, and I'm glad you enjoy it so much.
Oh, thanks, sweetheart.
Yeah. So I'm gonna really follow the same suit for 2019. Well, I didn't change employers. I did change job responsibilities drastically. I went from someone who was mostly a doer, someone who was very technical, into a lead management role. And much like Drew, some days I really feel like I've got this thing like nailed down and I'm doing a great job. And other days I feel like the world's biggest imposter. But much like Drew, I kind of wanted to do something different. It was kind of just this perfect opportunity where everything kind of just laid out. I'd really never thought about management before, but the opportunity I had, I figured if I was ever going to give it a try, it would be this opportunity. I'm doing things that I've never really done before. I'm stretching muscles that I've never stretched before at work. It's not always fun. Sometimes you have to deal with, things like people you really like leaving or just general weird HR stuff. Yeah.
So let's. Yeah. I think we need to say this out loud, just so everybody knows. Like, the reason I left where Paul worked wasn't because Paul was promoted and I wasn't. Like, yeah. I don't want that to be the subtext of what happened. Like, first of all,
that's not what happened. No.
I would have gladly kept working for you, Paul. I mean, I think you realize that. I just need to say that out loud so everybody knows.
Yes, and it's obviously we did not leave on bad terms because we talked to each other every week. So
you and I didn't leave on bad terms.
Well, that's true. Us personally. So
right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I was obviously looking for opportunities to grow as well, but there's only so many seats in musical chairs, and when the music stops, sometimes you get a chair and sometimes you don't, and I could have kept being a DBA there for a while, I think. I guess I'll never know, but leaving on my terms and exploring new opportunities was really good. And,
Yeah, absolutely. Like you made the right choice for Drew, and as your, manager at the time, the only thing I really could do was support you and send you off to the big party. And that's what I did.
Oh, and we did.
Yep.
I got a little too drunk.
You're not the only one.
Yeah. So, and honestly, like, I was really glad to see you get that opportunity because, how do I say this without it sounding like sour grapes? Like, there's a lot of really talented people where you work, and I'm excluding myself from that conversation for the minute, but there are people that I think are promoted maybe because they make the most noise, or maybe because they're buddies with their direct reports. I don't know, but I'm glad that you got that opportunity because you've been a loyal soldier for a long time there. You've done a lot of things. There's a lot of things with your name on it there, and I'm glad that you get the opportunity to grow.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I have been growing, and I've been at this company for a long time, and I can't say I'm going to be there forever, but again, like, I feel this is one of those things where it's another set of skills in my tool belt, and if I did want to go somewhere else, I think that helps me. So that's how I kind of always judge my career is, how's it going to look on the old resume? Not that I'm ever thinking about leaving, but, like, you never know. Like, I work in an energy company, and you could have one really bad day, and then it's like, oh, instead of, doing acquisitions and hiring, now we're, watching costs and cutting head count. And, like, those dynamics can change in an instant. So it's always kind of good to, at the end of the day, you have to look out for number one, right? Look out for yourself.
Yep. Well, not to put you on the spot, but have you ever thought about leaving? Because you've been with the company now for over 20 years, right?
Not quite that long. I think it's like 12 years.
Oh.
I'd have to look. A couple of times, I don't necessarily hide this. A couple of times I did kind of experiment and kind of see what was out there, but those opportunities really didn't pan out, or they weren't the right opportunities for me. I'm not actively, I'm happy what I'm doing. I'm constantly learning new things. If that ever changed, I wouldn't hesitate,
Now, do you think that you would like to stay in the whole management track? But like, if, let's say situation change, whether you wake up tomorrow and the company, hey, we're bankrupt, or maybe you're looking for something new. Would you try to stay on the leadership track, or would you get back into a more of a technical role at this point?
That's a difficult question. I still like being technical. I still do a few things from time to time. I don't think I'm ever going to avoid knowing how to do things, whether or not I actually do them. I like knowing how to do them. But I'm still, like today, I'm still kind of curious to see where this whole management thing goes. So I think I would continue to pursue that. Ask me in a year, maybe that will change. But much like Drew, I've been doing it just about the same length of time as Drew's been working for his new gig. So I'm still learning stuff every day. So.
Well, that's cool.
Yep.
I think was my biggest thing in 2019. Also, 2019 was the year, not just because I changed jobs, but not because of it, and how do I say this the right way? I'm blabbering a little bit here.
You and me both, buddy. Whew.
Yeah, I really took this opportunity. I decided in 2019 that I needed to do something different. And by that, I mean not just change jobs. Like, I realized that I wanted to expand my sphere of influence just beyond being a DBA, right? And I went out of my way to learn things like Kubernetes this year, and I've been doing a lot more programming. I've been doing a lot more stuff in Azure. Like, I really wanted to expand my expertise into different areas, because I'll be honest, like, I felt like I kind of climbed the SQL Server technical mountain. Now, granted, like, I'm not somebody who knows all the internals of SQL Server, and I haven't mastered everything about it, but I can performance tune, I can do installations, I can troubleshoot, I can do design, I can do a lot of different things in SQL Server, to the point where I felt like, okay, I'm ready to do something different. And, I was out speaking in the technical community. I was, data platform MVP. Like, I just felt like it was time to do something different. So I'm thankful in 2019 that I had the opportunity to, even before I changed jobs, to do a little bit of things like, cloud-based stuff or containers, Kubernetes. I got to do a lot of cool stuff in 2019. So I feel like that was a pretty positive thing as well.
Yeah, you gotta keep learning.
Yeah, you do.
Gotta keep getting better. So what else do you have for 2019?
I don't know. Let me think for a second here. What else did I do that was pretty interesting in 2019? From a personal development standpoint, like, I got to do a couple, like, we did the personality test thing, and that's always eye-opening, right? But, like, from a personal, like, development type thing, like, I'm definitely getting better in the gym. So This year I celebrated 5 years at Friendship CrossFit. I can't believe that I've been doing CrossFit for 5 years. And sometimes, like, one of the things that I've really worked hard on in 2019, thanks to the coaching support that I have, is it's easy to walk into a gym, any gym, not just the gym I go to, and you can see somebody lifting weights, or you can see somebody on a treadmill, or you could see somebody swimming, and you think to yourself, man, that person's always going to be better than me. And one thing that I've had kind of shown to me was the only person you should ever be competing against is yourself. So if I walk out of the gym even 1% better than I was yesterday, whether that is, hey, today I did this many pull-ups, and the day before I could only do this many, or if I did a cartwheel, or if I did a bunch of toes to bar, or if I hit a new PR on a squat or something like that, I should be measuring success on my terms and against my previous milestones. So one thing in 2019 that I really started to do is keep a better track of, what are my achievements? Because I've always been bad about pointing out when I do a good job, either to myself or to others. So I'm trying to get better at keeping like a personal log of, here's what I did that was good. And so far that's played out really well for me, especially in my new job. And it's also paid a lot of dividends in the gym, because it's easy to get defeated and think, man, I'll never be able to do this thing. And it's kind of a mental trap to fall into, because if you're always thinking, hey, I'll never be able to do this thing, well, A, that's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, and B,
right,
like you lose sight of the victories you have made, and every victory, no matter how big or how small, is still a victory. So 2019 taught me to kind of just count my blessings and sweat the small victories, right? Be thankful for what you achieve.
Yeah, that's always good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my next for 2019, something that and just something I look back on as something that really kind of changed in my life. This is going to get really nerdy. I want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've always been a tabletop role player, on and off since middle school, high school. But like this year, I think it finally kind of re-solidified itself as a major part of my life and one of my larger hobbies now. I'm part of a group that, while we don't play as regularly as I would like, we play at least once a month. We recently finished up a year-long campaign there, and I know I'm going to be running the next one for that group. It's something I enjoy, just sitting on the couch, filling the moments, reading source material and rule books and stuff. And it turns out you can buy some sweet gear for Dungeons and Dragons, and me and gear. So yeah, it's a hobby I really enjoy. I think Dungeons and Dragons in this latest 5th edition has really kind of hit its stride. It's a really good game, and I enjoy playing it. So, something I've done a lot in 2019, and I look forward to continue to do in 2020.
Yeah, I haven't played D&D in a long time. I think the last tabletop game I played is the game of Shadowrun that you ran, I don't know, going on 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to get back into it. Although I've never been a huge fan of D&D. Like, I like tabletop games. I just don't like the high fantasy stuff. I like more cyberpunk or modern games.
Well, you got to play the right setting. I'll kind of give a plug for this book that just came out. My favorite Dungeons and Dragons setting is a world called Eberron, and they just released the official 5th edition book recently called Eberron: Rising from the Last War, and it's less high fantasy. It's more, a lot of times it gets called like dungeon punk. It can be very gritty. It can be kind of like noir focused. I think it's a really solid setting. And one of the things that I like about it in particular is like you get something like Dragonlance or Ravenloft or other settings, like especially like Shadowrun was notorious for this. They had this urge to constantly sell you new books by pushing like the meta plot along, right? It's constantly going and going and going, and there's new stuff, and you're like, well, what era are you playing in? Eberron doesn't do that. It's like, well, every Eberron game, your traditional Eberron game starts at the exact same time. The history is always the same. Like, it doesn't progress. And there's like key like mysteries in the world. The creator, Keith Baker, just like, hey, I'm never going to write a book that says this is what caused, the mourning, or this is the answer behind this mystery, because I want, every game table to explore those mysteries and come up with different answers every time they play. So, so that's what I'm going to get to run here real soon. It's the setting I enjoy for Dungeons and Dragons the most, and it's a very non-typical D&D setting.
Yeah, I really want to get back into Shadowrun. I guess I haven't been paying enough attention. 6th edition is out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And it's literally been a topic in our doc for a very long time. It's awful.
Oh.
It's
okay.
awful. So we can talk about that at some point if you want, but it's
now, I know you got your starter kit. Do you actually have the whole core rulebook now?
I think I bought it as a PDF, and I couldn't even get through the book enough to justify buying a hard copy.
Really?
Yeah. So if you thought 5th edition was a little rough, 6th edition was way worse.
All right, I'll have to do my homework before we bring that back. That's really disappointing because I was looking for a reason to start playing Shadowrun again.
Yeah, I absolutely love that setting. It's probably my favorite setting, but I don't think Catalyst Game Labs, the company that owns them, is in necessarily good financial shape. and it sounds and looks like Shadowrun 6th edition was just we got to get this out quick or we're going to lose the company. So,
wow, that's really disappointing.
Yeah.
One more quick thing to throw on top of that, since we're talking about cyberpunk stuff.
Okay.
For Christmas this year, I got a collector's edition of the manga Battle Angel Alita, and I have now read through that entire series. Wow, is that good?
Okay.
Yeah, and it's very cyberpunky, and it's really bizarre and a little bit dark in places. But man, I just blew through those books. So if you're looking for a good comic book to read, pick that up. I think you can get it in digital format too. But I got the collector's edition because some of the pages are in color and everything, and it's just superbly done. Now I see what all the fuss was about. And typically I don't go out of my way to read anime, but this one was really good. It was the top of mind because we were talking about cyberpunk.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna find that in Comixology and put it on my wish list.
And if you can't find it, I can let you borrow the books.
Yeah, I'm really bad at returning stuff that's yours. So,
Did you ever finish Scott Pilgrim, by the way?
I did.
Okay.
It did take me a couple. I had a false start, and then I had to get back into it.
Yeah. Well, and again, when it comes to comics, I'm obviously not the big comic book fan that you are. So my comics purchasing and reading are rather targeted. So Scott Pilgrim was the last series that I went all in on, and now Battle Angel Alita is the last one I went into. So. What are we looking forward to in 2020? Do you have anything else for 2019?
I think that covers 2019. I'm sure there's something I should be saying, but
oh yeah, same.
Yeah. So what are you looking forward to in 2020, Drew?
What am I looking forward to in 2020? Let's see. Personally and professionally, I'm looking forward to kind of see where my career goes next. There's a ton of opportunity to grow and learn new things and everything, so I'm anxious to see where that goes. Let's see. What else is going to be really exciting in 2020? I'm looking forward to the next presidential election, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to change in our time. Let's put it that way.
It'd be interesting to see what happens. That's for sure.
Yeah. I think 2020 will also be the year that I upgrade my MacBook Pro.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I'll probably hold on to this thing till probably Q3 of 2020, and I'll be looking to upgrade. There's a lot of good video games that are coming out this year that I'm excited about.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Talk to me about the ones you're excited for.
So there are 3 that I'm really, really excited. Well, 2.5. Okay, 2, and 1 that I'm curious about. It's really tough to rank the number 1, number 2. But I think the game I'm most excited for is The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
The Last of Us is and continues to be. I just replayed it recently this year. It is by far my favorite video game, and I'm super excited for. I never expected a sequel, but I'm super excited they're finally going to continue the story, and I hope it's as good as the first. For those of you who don't know, The Last of Us is kind of a dark action survival / horror game. It is a PlayStation exclusive. To me, it is by far the best game, hands down, period. I love it so much. Yeah, and it's by Naughty Dog. Great first party studio for Sony. So now the second game I'm excited about is Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. I think we've had this very discussion on a podcast before, but yeah, those are 2 really big games coming out. Now, I don't have a PS4 anymore, so I probably won't be enjoying The Last of Us 2. But Cyberpunk 2077, because I'm a person who keeps his gaming computer up to snuff, I'm really excited to give that a shot. I love the theme. I love the premise of the game, so I'm really looking forward to that. And the other one that's coming out, and again, not having a PlayStation, this hurts a little bit, is they're remaking Final Fantasy VII. And Final Fantasy VII is a game I played when I was in high school, is when that came out for me. Maybe it was even middle school, I forget. But we played a lot of that in the house because we had an original PlayStation. And apparently, as of this recording, a demo had apparently leaked on the internet. Have you seen that?
I saw that, yes.
Yeah. And people have been data mining it, and it went up on the store, and then it came off of the store. So there's like an illicit demo out there floating around, and it looks like they have changed the plot up a little bit, which, if you've played Final Fantasy VII, the translation is awful. Like, the game is great. I'm not
Right.
taking anything away from the game, but if you're one of those people that say, well, it's got a really good story, you're full of crap because the translation was so rough in that game, and it was hard to tell what the heck was going on. So apparently they have changed the plot somewhat, and I don't know if that is a chance to do things a little bit differently, or if they're revisiting the whole narrative structure of the game. It'll be really interesting to play through that and see. And I'm also thinking that it will eventually come to the PC, because the last few big Final Fantasy releases have come to the PC. So I'm anticipating that it will launch on the PC. It's a question of when. Hopefully it launches near the same time the other game launches, and they don't do like a whole Rockstar thing where they like launch Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead and then wait 6 months and then release it for the PC.
Yeah, a lot of times those exclusivities are like 6 months or a year. And I think years becoming more common now than has been before.
Yeah. I'm fully preparing it to launch at the same time, which is awful, but whatever. I will get it for the computer just because I don't see myself buying a PlayStation.
Now, speaking of your itch for Cyberpunk tabletop role-playing systems and Cyberpunk 2077, our Talsorian Games, the company that owns the rights to the Cyberpunk brand, actually licensed it to CD Projekt Red. They are working on the next edition of their Cyberpunk role-playing game, and they have their Jumpstarter kit available. And I think it's supposed to ship like the whole game's supposed to ship like Q1 of 2020. So that could be what scratches your itch for dark, gritty, cyberpunk themed role-playing games. Yeah.
Let me check that link real quick, because that seems exciting. Jumpstart kit, $10.
Yeah, and you can buy this. The link I put in there is to Drive Through RPG, and this gives you the digital version of the Jumpstart kit. And I believe there is a physical version that you can buy as well if you actually want the box with stuff. But this kind of gives you an introduction to the setting, some rules, some sample characters. Yeah,
it doesn't look like it's on Amazon yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be interested in playing that. If you ever want to give that a go, let me know.
Okay, all right.
What else are we looking forward to in 2020? I think that's enough video game talk. What else are we looking forward to?
Oh boy, I should have thought more about this. You know, to kind of do the cheesy one is I'm looking forward to continue doing this show.
I was going to say that one too, because this has been so much fun.
It has been fun. I've really enjoyed it. It's even to the point now where I haven't even looked to see what the listener count is, because I don't do it for them anymore. I do it for me.
Same.
Yeah, so I hope, we've had 30 episodes. I've had fun doing all of them, and I'm looking forward to our year anniversary. And
we're gonna have to make a big deal out of that. I think that
are.
Yeah, I think for our year anniversary, we should treat ourselves to suites at the hotel that's the government front.
We could do a live show.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Like, actually, here, this is funny. If we do that, do we do the live show in the lobby in front of the staff? Because there's going to be no one else there. Or do we each get separate rooms to go in our separate rooms and record? What's funnier? Oh my God.
I don't know.
We should have doing Best Con, where we just basically see who wants to meet us there, and we just do a live show there. Okay, listen.
I'm
listen.
down. I'm down.
All right, besties, if you're listening, if that's something you would like to do, like if you could verbally commit to a weekend, or not even a weekend, but like a Friday night in June of 2020, where we all just book rooms in this place. I'm telling you, it's going to be weird. We all book rooms there. We'll do a live show there. I'm sure they have a ballroom or a meeting room or something where we can do a live show, and we'll like spend the night. I'm not going to fall asleep, because I know if I fall asleep, I'll die. But I will. I think we should do this.
Yeah, they're waiting for you to come in there.
They check in, but they don't check out, Paul.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
At least we get to the bottom of this hotel.
Yeah, and if it turns out it's just a crummy hotel, then that's the story, and I'll maybe believe it.
Or we could just say that they knew we were coming, so they made sure the hotel was staged properly.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm. Hello, fellow travelers. We are also travelers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to get some food? Yeah, like. Oh, that'd be hilarious. All right, for future consideration, let's write that down somewhere and see if we can't make that happen. And then we'll have somebody make us corn dogs. We'll find corn dogs because we still have to do that too.
Yes, we have. Bring back the corn dog story.
Oh, that reminds me. I do have one more regret for 2019.
Okay.
So one thing I wanted to do, it was like our third or fourth week recording the podcast, and it was after we had gone to Roosters and had the things that you told me were corn dogs, but I don't think were really corn dogs. I wanted to get custom stickers made of corn dogs. that was gonna be our logo, but it didn't pan out. I couldn't find.
Okay.
I went on Fiverr and I had somebody draw corn dogs. First of all, these people have less of an idea of what a corn dog is than I do. Because when I should send you the failed attempts of. I paid $5 for it and I wasn't gonna pay any more. But like when I think of a corn dog, I think of. I think of a battered hot dog and a stick. Like it's not hard.
Yes.
Like I'm sure I could like serviceably sketch one. But like I got these things back that was like a hot dog with a hot dog and a bun with a stick in it because like what is that? And then another one.
That's not a corn dog.
That's not a corn dog. And then I literally got a dog made out of corn. So something got lost in translation. I have to find these.
You know what? In the spirit of the show, that could make a good logo.
Yeah, we tried our best, right? Like, so did this artist on Fiverr.
Oh.
I gotta find those. They're in my email somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. I think that's enough.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll end on that bombshell. All right. Where can people find us, Paul?
As always, you can find us on the internet at www.doingtheirbest.com. You can send us those sweet emails at contact@doingtheirbest.com. You can reach the show on Twitter at doingbestpod, and me personally at Paul Baylor. That's BAHLER. And where can we find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at Pitfurg, Pittfurg. You can see me tweet pictures about dogs I encounter in my travels and maybe some technical stuff from time to time or funny things that I see on Twitter. Because I haven't tweeted much technical stuff in a while, and I got to get back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we'll talk to everybody next week.
Indeed.
As always, give us those emails, give us topics. We'll talk about pretty much anything you send in, so please do that.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Until next time.
Yeah, thanks again.